On for you.
Thank you all so much. Mikayla Arciaga, Georgia Advocacy Director for IDRA. Thank you, Senator Dickerson and members of the committee for the opportunity to talk about this bill. We fully support the spirit of this bill and acknowledge that there are some really, really strong aspects of this, particularly the tiered systems for intervention. We would also echo the concerns around having some language for at-risk. That is a normal part of it. I recognize that y'all have to find a balance between flexibility and local authority. Unfortunately, I think sometimes when we hear flexibility, we also have to think about disparity. We work with students around the state. We had some students here for the Senate hearing on this bill who are within the same district, go to different schools. Kids, and some of our kids would be ineligible for a driver's license because of how their school handles unexcused absences compared to a school, their neighbor, their friends who are 15 miles up the road. So we would encourage some concerns. We have some concerns around the consistency of the language and the definitions around the language. Some of those are things like noncompliance. I forget the exact line number. I'm sorry, I had it written down. But reporting on noncompliance and what noncompliance means. If a plan is made and we say a child is going to do these 3 things to address their risks and their absenteeism, if they do 2 of those 3 things, are they still ineligible for their driver's license? Does that have the same implications at one school and not the other? We would also, the only other thing is, I just want to say, I think the questions that have been asked here have been a real testament to the expertise on this committee. We don't have a huge opposition to this. It's more just concerns around where some gaps may happen. And again, we're still looking to the data from SB 123, which we know is still happening. And so we're still learning from that process right now. So to add punitive consequences to that feels a little extreme just at this moment. But we would just want to reiterate that the absence of meaningful parent support, communication in advance, having some root cause analysis for why these things are happening, incorporating those things. I recognize that those are all things that a district could do. But when we're talking about potentially limiting a kid's ability to contribute to their family, taking away the things that may be the only reason why they go to school, those are things that we need to be mindful of as far as, yes, we're giving flexibility, but at the same time we're talking about making sure kids can do all of the things that make them well-rounded humans, not just get to school. And we don't want to see that just by virtue of where a kid lives, that they may not be able to access a driver's license or access extracurriculars because their school handles absences in one way versus the school down the street handles it a completely different way. So we would just raise those concerns. And in general, we really appreciate the responsiveness of the author and this Pro Tem's office in our concerns. And thank you again for this time. Thank you so much.